Birkbeck Law School. And I haven't looked in my notes in so long that I don't think I know where I'm at anymore, so hopefully that's okay too. Birkbeck Law School is one of the leading crime scene investigation schools in the world, out of the UK. They put out a press release 24 months ago in which they said on this very practical premise that in the not too distant future they're going to have to develop new classes. Guess what for? Analyzing crime scenes that are the result of human non-humans, that are the result of enhanced humans, because nothing we know about forensics or profiling, you know how they go into a crime scene, they do all the, everything it is they do. I don't even watch CSI, the television movie, so I really can't explain it, shouldn't try. But they go in and they do all that they do, and they come out of it. Okay, we're looking for a male, and he's 25 to 35 years of age. He's probably of an affluent community, whatever. So they have rules that have been developed over 200 years or more in which they've learned to analyze a crime scene. And now what Birkbeck Law School is saying, throw it all out the door. Because if we are dealing with a crime scene that is, let's say, something that was perpetrated by a serial rapist who is part wolf, we're dealing with a werewolf. That sounds insane. That's what they were saying. We wouldn't have a clue. We would not know. This thing might have a bloodlust for human blood like an animal might in ways that we simply cannot possibly comprehend. Is that sci-fi? No, it's exactly where we're going. Let me move quickly so I don't get too far behind. If you've been paying any attention to Raiders News Network, the National Science Foundation report, did any of you see any of this posted at Raiders News Network where it said, Tom Horn is an extremist pig who would make the Unabomber proud? Did you see that? Well, a few of you did. Well, for those of you that didn't, which is apparently the majority, here's what happened. I put out a press release, and it was simply called Open Letter to Christian Leaders on Biotechnology and the Future of Man. Because I have to tell you, here's what my passion is. What is driving me on this? I want the Christian community to get involved in this discussion on transhumanism in particular, but even in just simply the genetic sciences before it is too late. People just like you, people just like those you have heard speak here today, I want those numbers to swell. Why? Because we're going to lose this battle, and very fast. Because the rules, the guidelines are being determined right now by pro-transhumanist think tanks. And that's from within the government, from within the military, from within academia. They are setting the rules right now by which all of us, your children and your grandchildren, are going to live. And every one of them, to no exception, see the transhumanist idea. Oh, what is transhumanism? Did I forget to say? Transhumanism, you could go all the way back to Gilgamesh, those who want to become gods. You could go to the Enlightenment era. But when I speak of transhumanism, I'm simply talking about a modern cultural movement today that is made up of people all across the world who believe that we now have it within our power to use technology to advance human evolution, rewrite our genetics, cybernetically enhance ourselves, make a better version of human 2.0 than what God made. The technology is here, so they believe we no longer need to wait on the daunting task of natural evolution. Who needs 1,000,000 years of evolution when we can get it all in one day? Woohoo! That's what they're saying. Of course, I'm like Ian Fleming, or Ian Malcolm, I guess his name was, in Jurassic Park, being chased down the road by a giant Tyrannosaurus man-eating Rex saying, "Who thought this was a good idea?" You know. Well, anyway, so I put out an open letter, and it went across the newswire. Got picked up by Wired magazine. A lot of others picked it up. Well, pretty soon, like the next day, the #1 transhumanist blog, Accelerating Futures, which is operated by a man by the name of Michael Anisimov. Michael is a co-coordinator for the Singularity Summit. Have you heard of that? And very connected, if you will, at the hip with Ray Kurzweil, Aubrey de Grey, all the leading transhumanists. So he's part of them, but this is his blog. So he puts up a piece of that article Went out and did a little homework and found some YouTubes of me recently down in Portland with Alex Ansari doing his show Outside the Box on transhumanism. Put that on the top of his website. Went and found the Forbidden Gates. Have you seen the book trailer? Yeah, some guy's injecting nanobots in him and becoming demonic, and well, they really didn't like that. Put that on the top of the website too, just for good order. Well, pretty soon, all over Accelerating Futures, the most vitriolic, terrible, hate-filled things were being said about me by people who don't know me from Adam. They don't know where I come from. They don't know what motivates me. They don't know my logic. They don't know my temperament or spirit or anything else. But they're over there saying they hope I get cancer and die. Why? What was my crimes against humanity? I had asked Christians to read the NSF report and other reports and become aware of what is happening, what your taxpayers are paying for, your dollars are paying for. Become aware of it, get involved in the debate. Well, they hated that. Well, then by the next day, somehow, Patrick Lynn, who is the co-author of the new National Science Foundation report, Ethics of Human Enhancement, 25 questions and answers, another taxpayer-funded report that just came out, he found out about it. Well, he went over to the IET. Now, this is the world's leading online transhumanist think tank. So he posts this article over there. The name of the article is Wrestling with Pigs. So I opened the article because somebody sent it to me and said, hey, you're in the spotlight at the IEET. And it's all about my call for Christians. And he didn't like the fact that I had told Christians, get the NSF report. Look at don't just read the NSF report, look at the people who are operating behind it. Look at their organizations, what groups they belong, what seats they hold, what institutions they are part of, because it is a who's who of transhumanist dreamers worldwide. Well, Patrick did not like that. He didn't like it because he publicly tries to say he's not a transhumanist, though he holds a seat at the IEET, but he will say he's not a transhumanist. Okay, I give him a break. He's not a transhumanist. He's just a guy who's very sympathetic to the transhumanist cause. I don't care. I'm saying, get this, read it. Well, he didn't like it. And he furthermore, and he's talking about you as much as he's talking about me. Because he makes the point over there at the IET that they had found somewhere a Lutheran pastor who was fine with human transhumanism. It's okay, cool, might be the fulfillment of God's will for our lives. Well, that kind of a guy, he says, welcome in. But like me and you, conservatives who might see this as an affront to the divine order, and at a minimum as the gateway to a biological nightmare, who have concerns about this and who want a real, true, open forum in the public, in the debate. Let's get this on television. Let's get it in universities. Let's get both sides of the issues. Let's get conservative bioethicists, men like Francis Fukuyama and others, and Sharon for that matter. Let's put them up on the stage and let's have this debate. Yeah. I nominate Sharon. How about you? Well, they didn't like that. They don't like that. And the language was so loaded. When you read it, you'll see what I mean, because he tried to be clever, but he's weaving in words like, you know, there's this side of Christianity, but that other side. And he uses loaded words like extremists. He actually says those people who would make Ted Kaczynski the Unabomber proud. So now all of a sudden you're being stereotyped. If you're a conservative, and especially if you believe in biblical prophecy, you are a potential terrorist. You're not invited to this discussion. You're not to be part of this. Well, you know what? I say forget that. I am invited. I'm coming whether you want me or not. And I'm bringing as many as I can bring with me, and we're going to talk about this issue in a public forum. Well, he hated that. You know what was great, though? Let me tell you something about you folks. Within whatever it was, a 2 or 3 day period, I went to YouTube and I pulled down, they had put the video that Joe and the rest of his team made. By the way, you met my wife, but there is the wild man of the Ozarks, the most guitar assassinating crazy man you've ever met in your life. serving as my slave, as it should be. Well, I thought I had already introduced you to my wife. By the way, at my house, when you open up the dictionary and you read better half, there's a picture of her in there. Of course, she's the one that pasted it in there, but it's in there. Where was I at?